Thursday, the 9th of February. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Frontier Opening Bell. I am Bosin Omofaye, and this is how we get in today's markets started. But this is how I was making news right now. The local markets here in Nigeria yesterday went a little bit up again, 0.23%. The Nairobi markets went down by 0.1%. The BRVM better by 0.33%. We saw the shares of Bank of Africa, Burkina Faso, and the Bank of Africa for Mali contributing roughly 5.5% on average between both securities to the BRVM composite, better at 201.79%. Nigerian market yesterday was lifted by the banking sector as well as big names there, such as Zenith Bank. Then you've got a few companies outside the banking sector contributing to Nigeria's trading day. The GSE was better yesterday. The financials, the resources, and industrial stocks were better. The rand, however, fell slightly on the dollar, roughly 1%, around 17.57 later in the evening. The Egyptian market, 0.28% up at 16,948. That's just a summary of your trading day. For Wednesday, that was. So let's move on to today's day and see what's making headlines across the business and economic as well as corporate news. Kenya's data market is likely to hit about 2.5 billion shillings by the year 2027, while Kenyans will now have to contribute 2,000 shillings per month because the court has upheld the new NSSF law that allows contributions into the social insurance program. And Kenya's Treasury is looking to establish a climate finance bank. The whole idea is to have what they call the Kenya Green Investment Bank. The Kenyan government is like, if this happened, will be the first on the African continent to have a bank dedicated to eco-friendly projects, and they will get commercial loans to fast-track clean energy in one of Africa's biggest economy, and that is Kenya. This is it. If it happens, I say congratulations to William President Ruto and his administration. In the meantime, Tanzania in East Africa and Morocco, north of the continent, are looking to set up a fertilizer factory in Kisarawe. That's going to be in Tanzania. This is going to be a major investment in fertilizer to support East Africa's agriculture and using fertilizer from Morocco, which has the OCP group. A similar deal is being worked out between the OCP group of Morocco and the Nigerian government as well. Let's step into West Africa, with Nigeria still head-scratching how to get new Naira notes and get fuel. The elections are just around the corner. The Supreme Court yesterday restrained the federal government from moving ahead with tomorrow's deadline for the stoppage of use of old Naira notes of 200, 500, and 1,000 Naira notes. In the meantime, the Attorney General of the Federation has replied to the Supreme Court and says his opinion on behalf of the government and on behalf of the Central Bank. The Central Bank legal opinion was that the Supreme Court decision yesterday afternoon was not binding on the financial regulator and will continue to phase out the 200, 500, and 1,000 old Naira notes by tomorrow, February the 10th. Let's see who blinks first. In the meantime, outside the financial markets and all that, the Africa Finance Corporation, which is headquartered in Lagos, says it's entered a deal with Nigeria's Solid Minerals Development Fund, the SMDF, to provide a window of projects that will be worked together with EFC to allow further investment into Nigeria's solid minerals sector. And congratulations to FMDQ Group, because the depository arm of that group has now been admitted as a member of the International Securities Services Association, the ISSN. And the shares of MTN Ghana is now rising and contributing to some of the positive gains we've seen over the past few days in the current week, because the telco giant says it's reached a deal with the Ghana Revenue Authority on that back tax that was slammed on it by the Ghanaian authorities, which was about 8.2 billion cedis. They said the deal has been reached, and the stock or MTN shares now climbing. MTN Ghana, that was. Okay, so let's look into Southern Africa. And today, or tonight, at 7 p.m. South African time, President Cyril Ramaphosa will be delivering his State of the Nation address. He'll be talking first, of course, as you can expect, the South Africa's power crisis, companies in the retail and supermarket asking for a tax rebate from the government because they're spending hundreds of millions of rand to supply, to get diesel, to get their businesses running. Some of them are spending north of 1 billion rand. That is quite crunching. So power and the Eskom crisis will be on top of President Ramaphosa's speech. He's going to talk about corruption. He's expected to talk about wage negotiations with the workers. He's going to talk about how to tackle crime in Africa's most advanced economy. A whole lot will be on President Ramaphosa's State of the Nation address tonight, 7 p.m. South African time. You don't want to miss that. We'll have an insight into that in the days ahead. In the meantime, South Africa's capital spending plunged 37% on the scale back on expenditure. And I just talked about the retail and fast food giants asking for relief on the back of the crisis of electricity. Zimbabwe wants to start operating a new coal-powered unit by the month of March. It's just next month. While the global logistics and shipping company Maersk says global trade will slow down by estimated 2.5% this year. Maersk reporting very massive revenue for last year. Again, says the world economy is reopening, so there's so much demand, but global trade will still slow down just about 2.5 for the current year. And South Africa's largest cement maker, PPC, says it's received offers for those who were interested in buying its units in Zimbabwe. That's the PPC Zimbabwe. The shares of PPC went up about 2%, 24% yesterday on the South African Stock Exchange. That's part of the corporate news we have from Southern Africa, between South Africa and Zimbabwe, that is. Let's get on to see what's making the headlines this Thursday in North Africa. Fitch Ratings Agency, one of the top 3 rating agencies, has confirmed Atijari Wafa Bank, the Bank of Africa, Credit Immobile, BB rating, credit rating, and the outlook stable on those institutions. And Canadian Iron Gold and Silver says it's closed a $100 million deal to fund Morocco's project, while Moody's Investor Service has cut Egypt's ratings to B3, but the outlook is now being revised to a stable level. And Libya's oil minister says gas and oil output will rise by the end of this year. Libya is looking for all options to increase its oil output to about 1.8 million barrels per day and keep the money in the central bank, looking for how to keep things very nice and easy for the country. Fuel prices is lowest in one of the lowest in Libya, by the way, if you know that already. So because Libya is trying to ease things for the citizens. That's a bit of what is in the news this Thursday. We wish you a profitable business and market day. I am Bosu Namafai. I'll see you next time.